Hello, hi, welcome back to my course on enhancing soft skills and personality. We are on the third lesson related to assertiveness. As far as the week is concerned, we are on the third week and this is the second unit of the week. Totally, this is the 12th lesson that I am going to do. This is the last concluding discussion I will have on assertiveness, and in this one, having focused on in the first lesson on assertiveness about the importance of being assertive, and in the second one about the types of people in terms of assertiveness. Now, in this third one, let us learn how to be assertive and how to say that big no, the most difficult word, how to say that easily without feeling unease. And before I start, let me give a quick highlight of the last lesson. In the last lesson, we discussed in detail the basic types of people in terms of assertiveness. They are the passive ones, the assertive ones, and aggressive ones. And in passive types, I mentioned to you that we can have two categories. One, the inactive, who are the actual passive people who have all the inertia of not doing anything, the non-assertive types, more or less one and the same, and indirect types. Now, the inactive will not take any initiative, the indirect appears to slightly do something in terms of asserting oneself, but not that effectively. Often it amounts to saying something in a very indirect manner. As an example, I said that in a party where people are having food together, it's just saying that, oh, my neighbor, the one next to me, does not have this food item, could you bring it for him? The same item is not there with you, but you actually feel embarrassed to say that. So, you use a kind of indirect method. So, you are that indirect passive type of person. Now, let me quickly sum up as what I discussed with you in terms of the passive, assertive and aggressive people. I made tabular columns to distinguish the traits, but now let us look at them individually. The passive people do not state their opinion, they do not speak up and allow people to dominate, threaten them. The passive indirect types are less effective, but more on the negative side. All the passive types are generally hurt and they are anxious inside. They are afraid of others and they always indulge in self pity. The general motto of passive people is I lose, you win. And the fact that I lose, so it hurts me, makes me anxious, but I will let you win. The assertive people are the calm, confident and self-respectful people who think that their views are worthy, their rights are important. So, they express their rights without affecting the rights of others. They are direct, open, honest communicators and active listeners. They are self-assured and not afraid of others. They show empathy. This means they can feel into the inner feelings of other people and modify their behavior accordingly. Their motto, I win, you win. So, they always end up conversations, transactions in a kind of win-win situation. They respect their right, at the same time they do not violate the rights of others. Aggressive people, they are self-centered, they demand for their rights forcefully and get what they want by violating others' rights. They are poor listeners, they interrupt frequently, they humiliate others and get angry very easily and frequently. They feel superior, while the passive people feel inferior and the assertive people feel equal to others. Aggressive people feel superior and they feel self-righteous. They threaten others, but inside they feel insecure. They show antipathy and their motto is I win, I should always win and you lose and you should always lose. Towards the conclusion, I mentioned that successful people, quoting from Warren Buffett, have the ability to say no to almost everything. So, they have developed this power of self assertiveness. Okay. And to overcome the self limiting belief that assertiveness is dangerous, you need to practice saying affirmations related to your rights. Like, I have the right to be happy, I have the right to pursue happiness, I have the right to assert what is really needed for me, etc. And you have to affirm, you have to tell your innermost thinking, your subconscious mind, that you have the right. Now, with that point I left you. Now, let us continue with the discussion as how to become assertive. First, we looked at the importance of becoming assertive, and then looked at the types of people, and my direct recommendation was that neither you should be passive nor you should become aggressive. Having said that, how to become assertive? Now, you should know that neither the passive nor the aggressive people can change overnight and become assertive ones if they want to. It needs constant practice. In fact, the really assertive people have some inborn innate qualities that they have not developed overnight, but they have got it maybe by birth, and then they nurtured it using positive feedback from the environment, and then they maintain and sustain it. Now, this is not to discourage you to say that you cannot become assertive at all. No, this is just to say that whether you have it in you or not, in overnight you cannot do, but by constant practice, by systematic and systemic changes, you will be able to become a very assertive person, and of course, bring whatever you want in your life, whether it is happiness or job satisfaction or contentment in relationships. All the things can come when you start practicing this one single trait, that is assertiveness. Now, how to go about becoming assertive? Let us look at it step by step. First, start with the reality checking. What do I mean by reality checking? Just check how is your relationship with others. In important relationships, such as the one who will try to control you, say for example, the relationship that you have with your boss. Okay. So, in such important relationships, just see who is dominating, who is controlling, who is saying yes all the time, and what are the occasions, what situation is making you say yes, and why you find it difficult to say no. Who is the person who makes the compromise most of the time? If it is you, obviously it is high time that you have to become assertive. So, you try to do the reality checking, see your relationship vis-a-vis with your boss, spouse, partner, colleague, friend, classmate, roommate, neighbor, even a stranger. Have you ever noticed that suddenly a stranger sits next to you during a journey and then starts dominating you? So, you want to have a cup of coffee, the person says, oh, coffee here is so awful, it is so bad, why not you have a cup of milk or let us say tea? And then you really want that coffee, and because this person was thrusting his or her idea on you, so you feel compelled to say yes when you actually wanted to say no to something. Now, even to stranger, are you giving this compliant mode of behavior? So, this is something that you need to ask yourself, assess yourself in terms of your relationship with others. Now, see whether you are passive or assertive at some times or aggressive at some other occasions. Now, if you are on the extreme ends, passive as well as aggressive, so you need to balance it. Now, what is the next step for balancing? You need to change your attitude. Now, once you have decided that you will take the initiative to become assertive, it is your attitude, it is your thoughts, it is your innermost beliefs that will not let you become assertive. So, what should you do? You need to change those self debilitating thoughts. What kind of thoughts? It tells you, I am afraid of risk taking. If I take the risk, I will fail. So, I should not take the risk. I am helpless and alone. Nobody supports me. Nobody helps me in this activity. Now, actually, if you take the risk and then if you go forward, you will realize that there are unknown people to help you. God gives you support unexpectedly. And when you thought that you are literally helpless, alone, abandoned, you get some helping hand and support. But it's important that you take the risk and commence your journey. And then the thinking that, oh, I am always a good follower, I cannot be a leader. So, it's easy for me to follow someone, but it's very difficult to actually lead a group of people, which means I need to have lot of assertive qualities. So, better be a follower. And other thoughts like, if I ask them something and tell them that this is what I want, won't people think that I am selfish? So, I don't want to appear selfish. So, this kind of anxious thoughts will actually contribute to your non-assertive behavior. It will eventually make you passive. A person who sits on inertia and never thinks of acting, but only by acting independently you will be able to confront your fear and develop assertive behavior. So, that is why it is important that you need to change your thoughts, attitude, and any kind of thoughts that undermine you, and then slowly make independent decisions, and then you will be able to develop assertive behavior eventually. At the same time, distinguish assertive from aggressive behavior. You should remember that assertiveness is not polite or sophisticated form of aggression. It is not like the wolf inside has put a very cover of innocent lamb. No, it is not a cosmetic smile that you give outside, but inside you are very cruel, cunning, manipulative, and you want the best for you and you want the other person to lose. It is not that polite, very soft form of aggression. It is a positive inner quality that ensures positive consequences and always leads to a win-win situation. So, if you think that okay, inside I will be strong, outside I will appear to be very soft and polite, now that is not exactly the assertiveness that we are talking about, and I want you to emulate. The kind of assertiveness is something that is positive inside and polite inside, but is concerned about self-esteem, self-worth and one's own right, and it is also concerned about not affecting others' right. So, that is the real assertiveness, which is positive inner quality and ensures positive consequences. In the process of your inner journey towards assertiveness, it is important that you avoid people who discourage you to become assertive. Some people like your boss, like your dominating partner, dominating spouse will try to punish you for trying to become assertive. They may not talk to you, they may ridicule you, they may make fun of you. So, they will just try to pull you down by all means. Avoid the people. Okay, it is important that you keep away from this negative thinking people, because obviously they are jealous that you are trying to develop a quality which they cannot develop, or by your developing they may feel that there is a kind of threat perception for them. So, people may like better than those people and they do not want that to happen. You may become much more successful than them, they do not want that to happen. So, avoid those people who discourage you to become assertive. Conversely, stick to those people who appreciate your efforts to become assertive. So, there are good people who are assertive themselves and who want others to assert and develop themselves. Now, these people would reward you instead of punishing you, they would rather reward you, they would help you, they would appreciate you, they would honestly look at the efforts you are taking to become assertive, and they will take note of it and keep on appreciating and praising you for trying to develop yourselves. Now, you need to stick to this kind of people, and again in the process the next step is to remove any kind of self doubts. What happens? You read thousands of self development book, hundreds of book on assertiveness, and watch videos like this, do everything, but at the end of it there is an iota of doubt that is lurking somewhere in you. Am I really worthy of becoming assertive? Can I really become assertive? Am I the person that the teacher is talking about? No, I cannot be. How can I be? So, that kind of self doubt should be nipped in the bud. So, as you grow in the assertive process, do not doubt yourself at any stage. Be sensitive and clear about your need to be assertive. You know that being assertive is going to help you definitely in certain manner. So, keeping doubt about it is not going to help you. So, focus only on the part of developing you. Do not have any doubt, and if anything is there, do not pay attention to it and try to overcome that part. In this regard, I suggest that you follow Stanlee and Nancy's 10 commandments. So, these authors give strong principles to ward off barriers to your inner journey. So, they give 10 strong suggestions which they call as commandments. Let us look at those commandments one by one. First one, they say create quiet time. So, whether you use meditation, whether you go to a temple, whether you sit in your office alone, they say, or get up and walk early in the morning, sit somewhere in an isolated place where nobody disturbs you, but create quiet time. The time where you can interact with yourself, the time where you can think about what is happening in your innermost soul. And the next commandment they say is risk vulnerability. All of us are afraid that, oh, if I do that, I will appear very vulnerable before others. Will they not think that I am emotionally weak? So, I feel like crying, but if I cry before others, will they not laugh at me? Now, the authors say risk vulnerability. So, you risk, be vulnerable. So, that is your true nature. In that situation, no doubt about it, accept it, and open to inner wisdom. Often the outside wisdom coming from elders, coming from seniors, coming from books, coming from religious sects, coming from dogmas, coming from theories, coming from principles, the outside wisdom will always try to curb the inside one or will try to suppress it completely, but open to the inner wisdom. Based on our own experience, we gain some kind of wisdom. Now, be open to that. If that wise thought is telling you something which is contradicting something that is coming from the outside wisdom, try to accept, try to acknowledge, try to follow that. The next one is also similar to that, trust answers from within. This means that go by your gut feeling sometimes. The opposite person is saying that, oh, this is good for you, take this. Now, inside it saying, oh, this is really bad for you, awful. So, say no. So, do not accept it. So, go by your gut feeling, go by your innermost feeling. So, trust answers from within. So, do not trust the imposed answers to you from outside. And then the next commandment they give you is learn to laugh at Miss Protecto. So, Miss Protecto is a coinage indicating that this lady, a very caring lady who tries to all the time protect us. Okay. This means like, oh, if I run, will I not fall down? So, if I start that business venture, will it not fail? If I travel abroad, so will it not happen? So, instead of doing all these things, I will just stay at home. So, that protectionism. So, we try to protect, we try to sit in the comfort zone. They say that try to laugh at this tendency to sit in the comfort zone, stay put at one place, not leaving that place at all, fearing risk, fearing so many emotional bondage that is chaining us. And the next one is let go of emotional addictions. Sometimes in our day to day daily activities, we get addicted to certain emotional relationships, certain emotional gestures that we seek for it all the time. But it should not go to the level of becoming an addiction, in the sense that without which you crave for it, you want it. Now, the moment even emotional uh, relationship becomes addictive, so it is going to harm you at a very individual level, at a level where you need to develop your personality and become an assertive person. So, that is why they say that let go of emotional addictions. Look for and develop self approval. So, do not look for approval from others, you try to look for approval from you and then develop that self approval. Is this good for you? Have you done a good job? The innermost one should say, yes, it is a good job. The outside person is telling you, no, it is a good job, do not bother, just seek the innermost approval. And then live without negative self labels. So many self labels. I am always nervous, I am always stupid, I am always like this, I am always afraid of people who speak fluently, I am always afraid of my boss. Now, these are negative self labels. Okay. I am always submissive, I am also a follower all the time. Now, remove these negative self labels, focus on being, not doing and having. So, this simply means like the Zen moment, focus on being at this time, live the moment. Do not fret over what will happen in the future, or do not regret as what you have done or not doing something or not having something in future. Just focus on being at the present moment. And last but not the least, be responsible for creating choices. Now, when you make a choice, when you create that choice and when you accept it and go by that to change your life, and in case in the choice that you created something goes wrong, do not blame others. Okay. So, just when whatever choices that you make, be responsible for the choices. So, do not blame your parents, do not blame your boss, do not blame your spouse, do not blame anybody around, but take responsibility for any choice that you make. So, that will make you an assertive person. And then just to expand the thought about seeking approvals, do not seek approvals from others. Avoid seeking approvals from others. Why should you avoid seeking approvals from others? Because it will kill your autonomy and confidence. It will completely destroy your confidence if you keep constantly seeking approval from somebody, be it your friend, be it your parents, be it your boss, who is or who all are very benevolent to you. Doesn't matter, but constantly seeking the approval is going to kill your autonomy. You need to know what is good for you. Then when you seek approval from others, what are you doing? You are also giving power to someone to choose for you. Instead of having the power for yourself, you are just giving the power to someone, and in the process you are actually weakening yourself. The next interesting point that I want to emphasize on is in terms of the normal spontaneous way in which you react to people when you slightly make some mistake and you say sorry, you apologize. Now, in terms of assertiveness, you need to see whether that sorry is required at all. Okay. In fact, there are the aggressive types who never say sorry, and then there is this extremely passive type, very polite people. They keep on saying sorry, sorry, sorry for things which are unwarranted on the one hand, but on the other hand, instead of saying sorry, you reverse sorry and say thanks. Now, how? When you apologize out of some compulsion, so a situation where you have to say sorry, okay, and then you are compelled to say sorry, it will lower your self esteem. So, it will reduce you from your journey of developing this inner sense of assertiveness. So, next time, instead of saying, for example, sorry I got late, try saying thanks for waiting. So, just look at the situation from the other side. Instead of you giving the apology, try to reward the other person for bearing with you, for adjusting, for compromising. So, the other person also feels rewarded and happy, and you also do not underestimate you. Okay, your self esteem is also intact. So, be careful when you say sorry and try to see whether you can reverse it and convert it in the form of thanks. Okay. And when you do this, there are two things. Sometimes people give you praise, appreciation, and sometimes people criticize you. But both cases accept genuine praise as well as criticism. Now, do not feel embarrassed when people praise you, sometimes do not feel shy, do not think that whether you deserve it or not, accept it, say thanks, acknowledge it. And at the same time, when there are criticisms, do not be afraid of taking criticisms. Take criticism as positive feedback to enhance your skills, your personality further. So, both cases do not run away from. When you face them, you become assertive. Now, the most important part of the entire lessons related to assertiveness is, having talked to you about the importance, having discussed with you about the types, and then generally talk to you in terms of developing your assertiveness, is how to say no. You will feel that it is not that easy. Now, if we break that into manageable steps and then have some ways and ideas, we can always say no. Now, take the suggestion from Stanlee and Nancy. They say that there are 4 ways to say no, and rather they are suggesting 4 methods, 4 stages, 4 steps. The first one, they say, see whether the request by the other person is reasonable. See, usually somebody comes to you with a request, asking you for a favor. Now, let us say boss you or some slightly higher authority and then you. When the person is asking you, already the other person has decided that I will ask this person, and mostly this person will not be able to say no. Already the other person has assessed you. So, you do not go to the person to check whether the request is reasonable or not, but the authors say look inside yourself first. If you hesitate, like you do not feel comfortable, spontaneous to say yes immediately, there is some kind of hesitation or hedge, or if you feel cornered or trapped, you feel that, oh, I am being victimized, I am caught, I am trapped, or you notice a tightness or nervousness in your body, even the body language is somewhat becoming rigid, it is not flexible, it is not open, it may mean that the request is unreasonable. So, this is where you have to go by guts, the inner wisdom that is telling you that in terms of body language, in terms of its spontaneous response, it is trying to tell you that this request is unreasonable, do not accept it and say no. Now, again if you hesitate, they say that go to the next step, ask for more information. You have every right to ask for more information, ask for more facts before actually you have to say yes or no. Nobody can deny that. So, when you ask for more information itself, you will know that whether it is genuine or not, whether it is reasonable or not. And then there may be a situation where you may have to say no, but still you can negotiate, you can just try to make them feel that you are not saying no just like that. After asking all the information and facts, you have weighed all the pros and cons before saying that. And when you say that no, say no in a plain, direct manner. Simply say no. Do not give excuses or indirect hints. So, those are the methods of the non-assertive people. You have become an assertive person, so try to say no directly, spontaneously, and in a very simple manner, without giving apologies, without giving explanations, without giving logical reasoning for why you are saying no, without beating around the bush to say that simple no. Simply say no, it's not possible, I can't do it this time, no. And the fourth step they suggest is say no without saying sorry. When you say that without any explanation, also do not say sorry, do not feel apologetic again, because it will weaken your position, it will make your standpoint very weak. So, you have taken a standpoint of saying no after considering all the reasons, all the options available to that person as well as you. But why should you say sorry and weaken your position? Is it just to please the other person? And remember, this is something that you shouldn't be doing if you really want to become an assertive person. The other ways that I would like to suggest from my own experience and breeding of materials related to how to say no is that you can offer compensation and stay assertive. For instance, somebody comes when you are busy with your assignment, and this is your close friend, and this person says that hey, come on, let us go for a cup of coffee. And you know that going with this person for a cup of coffee will not be 10 minutes. So, he will call other friends and all will be there, there will be 10, 15 together, coffee, then another coffee, then other chips and other snacks, and then you keep eating, and then you keep discussing, chatting, and then it can go 1 hour to even 3 hours. You know that it is just going to pass your time, and you need that so badly to complete that assignment and submit it by the deadline. Now, you know just going there, you are going to lose the deadline, lose credit for it, and then lose your integrity, which is at high stake. Now, this friend is going to emotionally blackmail you. If you say no, the friend will say that okay, next time when you come for coffee, see what happens, I will also say no. So, you also need sometimes the company of this person. So, you cannot say directly. So, in that case, you can give a kind of compensation. You can say that, look my dear friend, this assignment I need to submit. So, if you allow me to do this assignment now, excuse me this time, but I will take you to a movie later. It is not just coffee, I will take you to a movie. Okay, what do you say? So, most of the times people will like this compensation, and they will see the reason, like they know that you are not saying no, but you are just postponing the time that he is planning to spend with you for a different time, different situation when you also have free time. Now, there are other people who are much more aggressive than this friend, and then it is very difficult to say no, and even if you say no, they say that no, you should accompany me, you should be with me, okay, this is my special party, you should come, and you say that no, I have some acidity problem, I cannot eat this kind of food. The person says no, now nothing doing, you should come. Now, what you can do when it is fully difficult, you meet this kind of people halfway. For instance, you can go up to the restaurant, and when the person orders the food, you can say that please go ahead and your other friend has come, I will just go out and come after some time. Or you can just sit and say that I just came to give you company, just please go ahead, I will just sip some water or have some soft drink. So, they will understand that okay, at least you have come this much, but then you are still asserting, but it is not harming them. So, meet them halfway. Now, the other interesting way of saying no, especially to intrusions. Now, you are busy and then you have scheduled your time in such a manner that you are just chasing deadline after deadline and there is no time to give to others. Now, suddenly somebody knocks at your door, enters without any invitation and comes as an unwelcome guest and starts talking about things which you do not want to listen, and your focus is getting drifted, your flow is getting affected. Now, on such occasions, Randy Pausch says that he is a very famous professor who expired owing to cancer, and from Carnegie Mellon University. I have given his famous last lecture, and that is available on YouTube. You should give a watch, and it is a must watch video. Now, what he says, he has folded chairs, but he does not put it in the front. Okay, he has them hidden behind a cupboard. So, if it is a very important guest and he needs to talk and he has fixed the appointment, then he gives the chair. If for instance these people are just intruders, so he does not give the chair and then he talks business very plain and quick manner, and then he just suggests that they should leave because he is tied up with some work. So, generally saying no to intrusions, do not sit and talk in a relaxed manner, because they will get a feeling that you are free, and you show this behavior not to hurt them, but it is important to make them realize that you are busy. You may look at the watch, you may look at the clock, your body language show anxiety, and as Randy Pausch suggests, do not offer the chair if possible. Stand up and talk instead of sitting. So, you do, if you do not sit, they also do not sit. So, they know that you are in a sense of urgency. There are other gentle ways of taking them. After some 5 minutes, you can just slowly come out and then reach to the door and then move out of the door with them, indicating or saying politely that I have no time, why do not you just go out. So, you go somewhere and then come back. So, indicating that they may leave. Now, saying no to intrusions is also a very important way of creating time for you, saving time for you. And again Randy Pausch says a very interesting and funny thing. He says that if required, he says tell a white lie, and he says that since I am a professor and if somebody fixes an appointment when I am so busy or tries to fix it, he says that he is in a lecture, he is going to give a lecture, or he is in a meeting. Now, he says it is easy for professor, but depending on your field. So, you try to give white lies, justifiable ones, especially you know that this person is going to hijack your time and then ruin your work that you have kept for that day. So, in that situation, do not hesitate to even tell a white lie, and in terms of saying no. Now, finally, as a last concluding thought of saying no, I would like to recommend to you that when you say no, say it calmly, take no tension, do not show any stress on face. Let your face have a smile if possible when you say no, but do not laugh or smile in such a manner the other person feels offended that you are ridiculing, but give a very calm, comfortable smile and say no. So, that will not offend other people, and they will realize that okay, maybe you are really serious and you cannot really afford to help them. So, that is why you are saying no. So, that calmness will show them that you cannot be cajoled, controlled, okay, or persuaded to change your opinion. But if they see slight stress, slight tension on your face, they know that they can try to dominate, control you, and then looking at your body language and behavior, they will try to persuade you to say yes. So, say it calmly, so that keep that as the final thought, although it is not that easy, it will come to you in practice. Now, before I conclude, I want you to read this interesting poem by a very famous poet who won the Nobel Prize also. He is from Argentina. He is a very famous poet, and then he has also written novels. This is Jorge Luis Borges, and there are different people attributing this particular piece of poem to themselves in the internet, but I found that this is actually from this poet, written originally in the Argentine language. Now, the poem indicates or it tells you learn. Okay. Now, to me it actually suggests that you learn how to become assertive from being a passive self, and how to protect yourself from the aggressive people around you, and you develop that inner calmness in the process. Now, let us read this, and then I will try to explain where difficult lines are there, otherwise it is a very simple and self-explanatory poem. You learn, so it is like it is a learning experience, you gain that inner wisdom. How? After a while you learn the subtle difference. The subtle is very inner, not overtly seen difference between holding a hand and chaining a soul. So, holding a hand is holding, but chaining a soul, holding is in a sense physical, it is giving some warmth, but chaining a soul, like you do not have any physical obligation, but you are chained by the soul, by the innermost connection. And you learn that love does not mean leaning. So, love does not mean that emotional addiction, and company does not mean security. So, that is what is suggested as emotional addictions, and you begin to learn that kisses are in contracts and presents are in promises. Presents are given as present for that moment, but there is no way they offer you any promise, any guarantee about that relationship. And you begin to accept your defeats with your head up and your eyes open, with the grace of a woman, not the grief of a child. So, you grow up and you learn to build all your roads on today, because tomorrow's ground is too uncertain for plans, and futures have a way of falling down in mid-flight. After a while you learn that even sunshine burns if you get too much. So, too much of anything becomes harmful. So, you learn. So, you plant your garden, so you do not rely on others, and decorate your own soul. You do not seek approval from others, but you decorate your own soul. Instead of waiting for someone to bring you flowers, and you learn that you really can endure, that you really are strong, and you really do have worth. And you learn and learn with every goodbye you learn. Every time somebody leaves you, every time some relationship has to say goodbye to you, you immediately do not coil around, and then you immediately do not feel rejected or negated. You assert yourself, and then you learn in the process, and then you learn, you grow, you develop and become a fully assertive person. So, that is how I read the poem. I have also given the link for Randy Pausch's last lecture, which is available for watching freely on YouTube, and try to spend some time watching this, apart from the must read books which I have been mentioning in the past 2 lectures on assertiveness. I hope you will have a nice time after these 3 lectures, 3 lessons on assertiveness, and wish you to become a fully assertive person sooner or later, and enjoy the benefits of becoming an assertive person. Thank you for watching this lesson, this video, and happy staying with your assertive self.